Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Hello, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch My Hero Academia Season 3, Episode 3, and also the episode 4 today. 2 episodes today, that's gonna be cool, even more because with what is happening right now into the story, I really think that it's gonna be cool. That's it, we began the summer training camp, and with how they presented it during the last episode, what we're gonna have during it, the fact that Aizawa, he really wants to push them and to really go for it, like that test with Bakugo about did you really evolve during the semester that you spent at our school, and we can realize at the end that no, it didn't progress a lot. That was a little rough, even more for Bakugo, like I cannot wait to see how it's gonna take it, what he's gonna do, you know, like for someone like him, to tell him you didn't progress at all, like you should be more advanced than all. I think that he's gonna do his best, he's gonna go for it, and I cannot wait to see that. So that was a good test, and with what Aizawa said to the students, but also to the two girls, you know, the pussycats, I think, something like that. With what he said, he really wants for them to be already like at the second year, you know, of school. Like normally they made only one semester, so it's not a full year, you know, they didn't make their all 1 year of school, and he wants them to be already like the second year. It can be explained really easily with the fact that they had to survive to a lot of things, like this attack from the villains during their first year, also what happened with Stain during the internships. Like it's really a lot for these students, and they already suffered a lot, were hurt a lot, so they need to progress really quicker than the other students before them. So that's cool, you know, it means that we're gonna have really things about them pushing their limits, learning more about themselves, and not really that, but in fact learning more about their quirks. Aizawa insisted on that, the fact that okay, they progressed maybe mentally and they evolved, you know, they grew up, and that's great, and maybe also they progressed with their strengths because they are training a lot, but with their quirks really they didn't progress. I think that it can be the case for most of them. Like I'm seeing it since a long time. I have the impression that Bakugo is the only one who didn't evolve mentally but also technically, but the other ones I have the impression that all of them evolved mentally and or technically. Like for example Ochako, she evolved mentally, you know, with how she approached, you know, during fights and all. That's really cool. When for some other ones, you know, it's more technically. And I think that Dekku, he evolved mentally and technically, but also with his quirk. Like all of the work that he did with Gran Torino, it's really like with his quirk that he evolved. But on the other hand, you can say that it's just at the same level than all of the other students. The work that he made with Gran Torino, it's a work that all of them, they made during their entire childhood, growing up and getting to know more their quirks. No matter what, I think that this training camp is going to be really interesting for that. Also because we know that the villains, the League of Villains, they are preparing something. We know that, I mean, we don't know it, but we saw a lot of phone calls, a lot of things about these new villains preparing something, waiting for something, and they have a plan. And I had the impression that they were already hiding, you know, into that forest somewhere. These pussycats girls, you know, they said that all of this place, it was their place, so they were safe right there to use their quirks. But I have the impression that some of these villains are already on this property, you know, somewhere. So we'll see about it. And we have also something, you know, around the new characters with Kota, that kid, the fact that his parents died. I'm not sure of how they died, were they important, are we gonna have something about it, but no matter what, we're gonna have something about him because of his parents being heroes and the fact that they died so early. He's mad at heroes and he doesn't want to be an hero, to be around heroes. I think that we're gonna have something about it because all of these students, they want to be heroes for different reasons and all of them are good reasons, you know, like I'm not judging all of these reasons, all of them are great. And I think that Kota, maybe by seeing them, by talking with them, in particular with Dekku, we can imagine that we're gonna have a broader relationship. Maybe at some point he's gonna evolve, he's gonna change his mind, he's gonna see that these students, they want to be heroes for good reasons. I think that the fact that he's against heroes, it's not really because he's against heroes, it's more like he doesn't want to lose anyone else, he doesn't want, you know, bad stuff to happen to people that he appreciates. I think that it's more something like that, in fact, at the end. We'll see. These girls, you know, they were nice and are really going for it. So I hope that they're not gonna bother me, you know, with that attitude all of the time. They seemed a little calmer, you know, when they were talking about the kid, so okay, why not? Like, I want to know more about her. Like, for now, I have the impression that we didn't have a lot about her. In fact, we had more about the kids, so like, if we're gonna do something with them, I need more about them, you know. We'll see about it. Our might also, is he gonna be around that summer training camp? We didn't see him. Is it gonna be only Aizawa? Are we gonna have other teachers? We know that the other group, you know, the class B, is also going on a training camp. Is it at the same place? It didn't seem so, like they were not around for the dinner time and all. But I think that they didn't show these students for no reason. I think that we're gonna see them also at some point. We'll see. And I cannot wait to see them because, you know, it was cool to discover them during the sport festival, so it's gonna be cool to know more about them during also this summer training camp. And in particular, some of them who were really nice, and I want to see also if at some point they're gonna really join Class A or not. Like, they talked about it and we were a little scared of it, so at some point, is it truly gonna happen or not? Maybe not during the summer training camp, maybe more during the usual classes, something like that. We'll see, and I'm gonna see that right now. Remember that if you want to have my Patreon, on which you can have these episodes earlier, we have 4 episodes of advance on my Patreon, which means 2 weeks of advance. It's really a lot. It's the best way to support me, my Patreon. I'm a little writer on YouTube and on Patreon, but clearly with YouTube not considering me at all, the better way to support me, it's on my Patreon. And you can have all of these advantages on my Patreon, like this advance, also extended offer action part, drawings, I'm organizing some live sessions and a lot of things like that. Okay, let's go for this episode. Class B! Class B! It's you! Knew it! You're good ones. Seems logical. We're gonna spend this entire episode with you? Class B? I know. Ah, okay, okay. It seems to hurt him! Without doing stupid idea? Oh, is the toilet near? Ah, it's awful! I have issues, you know, know, with my inner ears. You're demanding them a lot. They're hurting themselves doing that. You're too energetic for me. Ah. Okay. We knew that they were four. That's great. That's why you're so great to help to train people. 5%, it's not all of what you've got. Dekku! Oh, the pressure that you put on your shoulders each time. Yes, and you're training well and hard. Nah. I love you so much, Ida. He's the best. He's gonna destroy everything. He's not making a good job. Ah. You're angry. You're so nice. The fact that they look like each other, it's disturbing me. You know them? Can we know more about it? Your friend? Oh, you tried all of that? Oh, it hurts even more. You know that each time I'm getting emotional imagining him as a kid being so disappointed, but... Like always. But it's okay. Ah! A safe place maybe for him? You're not kawaii with it? Now? You're gonna attack now? You're supposed to wait. 10 of you! You know, during the first attack, it was a lot of them, but they were not really good. Not a lot of them, but they're all so good. Oh. 2 AM?
今回オールマイトいや他の先生方って来ないんですか？
I can understand that, but the fact is that these villains, they knew already where you would go, they prepared something. All of the classes, a test of courage. Huh? It's not that where you're coming from, Dekku. You know, it's sort of All Might, that moment All Might giving him his quirk. It's not coming from that, it's coming from not having any quirk and training so hard without any quirk to accomplish his dream. Huh? For Kota? Nah.
場合に事情もわかんねえ通りすがりに正論叩かれても煩わしいだけだろう言葉には常に行動が伴うと
Also, I love how you're thinking, Todoroki.
君はヒーローになれる
通りすがりが何言ってんだって感じだ
Nah.
お前がそいつをどうしてるのか知らねえけどデリケートな話そういうの気にせずぶっ壊してくるからなお前以外と
He helped you, Todoroki, with your personal, delicate stuff. It's gonna be what? So not you.
というわけで脅かす側先行は B 組ルートの真ん中に名前を書いたお札があるからそれを持って帰ること
Is one class against the other one? It's a good moment, you know, for the villains to intervene, no? Oh no! Sue is never afraid. She's too calm, you know, she's too cold into her mind. Not cold into her heart, but into her mind she's like that. You managed to afraid them? Ah! Oh, you just had a little O? No, no, no! Oh no, I thought, you know, of the OVA, but it's something else. It's you? All of you villains. I said that it was a good time to intervene for them. I didn't think that it would be really... No? Oh, and it's not the taste of courage right there. He's all alone. Oh no, he's not. No. No, I don't see. Oh, I said it that it would be the right time for them to attack. But because of the fact that they said earlier, we need to wait, we're only, you know, a short group, we need 10 of us to attack and all, I thought that it would be like for the last episode, that it would take one more episode to have really all of them being reunited. And in fact, not at all, that's it. They're attacking right now. And they're right, you know, with their way of thinking, the fact that 10 really great villains can do way more than 100 regular villains. Like we saw it during the attack, during the first season, at the end of the first season, there were a lot of them, but they were not really great, like students who were not, you know, during this school, during more than 1 month, they managed to block them, you know, to fight them, so clearly that was not great at all, and right there, it's a better plan to have an elite group of villains attacking right now. 10 of them against our students and also class B and some heroes. The 4 pussycats, you know, and Aizawa. Which means 40 students. No, not 40. 40 minus the 5 missing. So 35 students and 4 heroes. Because Aizawa, he went with the 5 students, you know, for the extra lesson. Okay. And we have Kota, who is all by himself, with another villain maybe being around right now. Oh, I don't know. You know, I don't know what to think of that. 10 villains, and if there are 10 really great villains, it can be so bad. What I'm really glad, you know, is the fact that, okay, it's happening during the test of courage, and at the beginning, you know, maybe it was a little disturbing, but they really understood really quick that it was not a part of the test of courage, that they don't know these people, you know, they are not from class B, so for sure they are villains and something really bad is happening right now. But you know, during the poisonous situation, because of the fact that before watching this season 3, I watched the 2 OVAs, Save Rescue Training and Training of the Dead, it made me think of, oh no, it's Training of the Dead, you know, which had that poisonous situation, you know, to change people into deaths. So because of that, you know, with that poisonous moment, I was like, oh, that's it! It's the death situation, they're all gonna go as zombies and all. And it took me, you know, to see that villain, you know, with the blue fire, I don't know what his quirk is, to understand that, no, it's a league of villains. And we saw that right there, Toga, I think, the girl, the villain girl, the one was that, you know, on her face and all, she's gonna attack Ochako and Tsu, which... But Ochako now, she knows how to defend herself, you know, to go for the fight really quicker than before. Okay, we're gonna have all of that, you know, all of this attack during the next episode, and I think more than that, because we don't have really big heroes right there to help them. But we have a lot of them, a lot of these students, and they are really good, you know, some of them. So, I don't know how it's gonna go, we're gonna see that later. So let's talk about all of that training camp. Okay, these 4 characters, the fact that they are leading that tiger training camp and all, we can understand why, because with their abilities, it makes sense, you know, for them to have that training camp, and it's a good one. I can understand all of the logic behind all of these exercises, you know, for them to use more their quirks, you know, and quirks to see them as muscles that you have to train again and again to improve. And right there, I can see the ambition behind that, you know, to train their quirks, and also the purpose, the goal, you know, that they put. Like for some of them, it makes sense to go further with that. Like for Todoroki, maybe to at some point to use his boss quirks, you know, at the same time, and all of them, you know, all of what they need to do with their quirks, it makes sense. But the fact that right there, while they were training, I had the impression that it was hurting them, that, you know, it was difficult for me to watch, because for me, to train hard and all, even when you're making some sports and all of that, you can train really hard and it's really difficult. But I'm not that kind of person who is saying you have to go to your limits, you know, okay, it hurts, but you have to go further than that to continue, even if it hurts. No. Like, okay, you can go really far and at some point it can hurt and it's okay, but there is a limit with that. And I had the impression that right there, for them, that limit was already passed and since a long time, and that it was too much. So that, it bothered me a little, but not them, and they're training hard and that's great. All of that thing, you know, about making their own dinners, why not? All of that thing about having some extra lessons, for some of them, it's exhausting, we can see it. Kota, We had a little more about him with that discussion with Dekku. So Dekku knows who are his parents and the incident behind that. I don't think that we're gonna have really more of that, maybe just really what happened, but I don't think that there is a big secret behind that. If Dekku he already knows the truth about it, that's not gonna be a big deal, you know, there is not a mystery, a secret, a surprise, a big reveal behind that. But still, it's an information that we're gonna have at some point. And Kota, the fact that he didn't want to listen, the fact that he wanted to be all by himself, he doesn't want to be with them, it's not really a surprise. That thing that we saw at the end might be more interesting because I don't know if Kota knows that this place is there. I think that it's a place, I think that it's like a door to somewhere. So I don't know if it's like Kota's safe place or maybe it's a door, you know, that the villains used to come right there. I don't know. But right there it's gonna be important, the fact that he's all by himself and we saw that someone is around. Is he, she someone that Kota knows or not? Is he, she a villain? For sure Dekku is gonna think that Kota is in danger and he's gonna try his best to reach him, to protect him. Again, I think that all of that thing about Kota, who doesn't like heroes and all, I think that a lot of it is based on the fact that his parents were heroes and they died as heroes, making their duties, and I think that for Kota it's more something like I don't want to lose anyone else. But what he said right there about the fact that because of the quirks people divided themselves between heroes and villains and they are fighting, you know, it's joining a little my ideas that I had during the beginning of the first season about how people are beginning to be villains. At first they have quirks like everyone else, and you cannot say that all of the villains it's because they are fundamentally bad and they want to do bad stuff. Like I think that a lot of them it was because they didn't have financial resources, so they began to steal with their quirks, or you know, stuff like that. You know, to categorize everyone as villains and that's it, and it's just that, you know, like if all of our guys they have reasons because they want to be heroes, for sure all of the villains they had reasons to become villains. Do you understand what I mean? And it's not because they want to be bad and that's all. So what Kota said is going a little with my ideas about the fact that this system, you know, and a lot of rules of this system, also the fact that you can use your quirk only if you're heroes and only during a mission and all, like a lot of things like that, with categorizing people according to their quirks and if they are dangerous or not, like a lot of things with this system, with the rules, it's bothering me. So what Kota said right there about the fact that people are dividing themselves between heroes and villains and that's all, it's going with that, you know, with that idea that I had. So maybe also it's because of that, you know, that he's against heroes. But I think also that there is that personal reason, his parents dying because they are heroes, so he doesn't want to be a hero and he doesn't want for people to be heroes because of that. Do you understand what I mean? Okay, I'm gonna stop this review right now. I'm gonna watch one more episode today, so I'm gonna have more about the beginning of this attack. I really don't think that it's gonna take only one episode, this attack, but we're gonna have more about it during the next episode. If you already want to watch my reactions and thoughts about the next episode, you can come on my Patreon and watch in fact my reactions and thoughts for the 4 next episodes. If you can be interested by that. No matter what, it's gonna be in another video, so it's all for you for this video and it's all for me for now. So bye for now. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
Great.